Hey there, I'm Charlie Garcia Martin, and I'm about to show you how to make a spectacular, wonderful, and even better homemade sandwich loaf. We're going to start off with my flour. I got 500 grams here. A wet levain, which is a sourdough starter. I'm going to go all in. This is a perfect loaf to have around, and you can even freeze it, previously sliced. Ready for breakfast or lunch, or sandwiches, any time of day. I'm going to say goodbye to this. We're going to go with 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of olive oil or canola oil, any of your preference, it's all it needs. Our liquid here is going to be milk, and you can replace it with vegetable milk. For this 500 grams of flour, I'm going to go with 50%. It's going to be 250. That's enough. We're looking for a nice elastic dough, but not too wet that it's going to be uncomfortable to work. A little bit of sugar, 30 grams. Brown sugar in my case. And we're going to go with some salt. Just 10 grams is going to be enough. Alright, this kneading technique is called the slap and fold, and it's a beautiful technique you should learn and try. Gives you amazing textures and a lot of volume afterwards. We're ready to mix and start kneading. Hands in already. We're looking for a homogeneous mix. Incorporate all ingredients together. Again, look for a moist dough, but it's not too complicated to work. I don't want you to have a headache over kneading it. It's supposed to be a simple process, yet yielding a beautiful bread. I'm using a levain, which is a sourdough starter, but you can replace this levain for 10 to 15 grams of fresh yeast. I'm going to finish up my milk. Always leave it a little bit extra in case you need it. I don't want a really dry, stiff dough. Alright, now we're good to go. Look at how sticky it is now to my hands and all. But you'll see in a couple of moments, just a few minutes, how this dough will start to come together. Bye bye bowl. Alright, we're good to go. This is the slap and fold kneading technique. I always recommend it to everybody who learns and takes classes with me for any type of bread. We're going to slap the dough and fold it over. Slap it and fold it. We're going to start working towards elasticity, oxygenation, want a lot of movement here. The more our dough stretches, the better. I want to feel that this dough is alive. And I do want to impart a good amount of energy. I don't really want to get tired. I don't want you to get tired and frustrated with this. Practice it slowly. You don't need to go fast. The important thing here is creating, again, elasticity and movement. And you can see it starts to stick every time, even less, to my work surface here. We have a nice color from the eggs. This is a beautiful soft dough. Lovely for sandwiches and toast. Let's go again. Yes. Stirring it. Nice and smooth. This is too heavy for you. What are you gonna do? Split it in two. And let's work with smaller pieces. Same technique, same movement. Grab it from the bottom, slap it and fold it over. Again, don't get tired. This is supposed to be enjoyable. And you can do it once or twice a week. Make a couple of loaves. Put them away in the fridge or freeze them. Previously sliced, so you can just pick up the slices, ready to toast. It's a really convenient staple to have around at home. See, we're working much better like that. We don't get tired. Starting to get good now. Anything that's hanging around here, add it back to the dough. And one thing here, we're not using any more flour. We're relying on this kneading technique to get our dough done completely. No more flour. If we add flour, then we're changing the recipe. See how we're developing the gluten here, starting to get strong. And taking up all the moisture added. So we don't need to add any more flour. That would mean ending it up with stiffer dough. And we're almost there. We're getting close. Look at how good it's starting to look. I like it. We're almost there. I'm gonna let it rest for a couple of seconds. I'm gonna take all of these bits of dough out of my hands and into the main one. There we go. Gonna let this rest here. In the meantime, 2 pan molds. And I'm going to grease them. This is very important. You don't want your dough to stick to the mold. This is a non-stick, but you know, sometimes you can't rely on them. I'm just going to brush in some olive oil. Make sure to cover all the walls. Go around thoroughly. I like olive oil, it gives a nice flavor and aroma to the crust. Let's go with the other one. And I'm going to end up here with 2 550-gram loaves. It's a really nice size. So you can do this once a week, leave one out, and then freeze the other one. And you got all your week covered with bread. This is healthy sourdough bread, very digestible to your gut. All right, let's see how this is doing now. Look, doesn't stick anymore, and that's a really good sign that you're almost there. Also, look at that smooth texture on the outside. And what's more important? This elasticity. Look at how it moves. Almost there. just a tad more. Open it up. If you feel that it's contracted, open it up. You don't want to tear it, like you don't want to break the dough, but open up. If you feel it's pulling inwards. See, you can go at this rhythm if you want. This is a great pace of work. Now, it's going a little bit faster for you not to get bored with this. Besides, everybody here, cameraman, they all want to eat some bread before they leave. So, I can speed it up, but you can easily go at this pace. That's really nice. Look, doesn't stick to my hands anymore. Doesn't stick to the workbench anymore. That's a great sign. Look at how simple this is going to be. This is probably the most difficult part, but what? Again, it takes practice only. You know, just try to get the pace going. I'm going to measure the size of these. If you don't have the scale, just split and chew. I'm going to weigh the dough. Good. We have 1100. So I'm going to go half. Ooh, that was almost there. A little bit of this one towards here. Now look at what this piece of dough. I'm going to divide it in two again. My molds are ready. Remember to grease them. I'm going to get some flour. Dust it right here. Press down a bit, and now we're going to shape balls. Just like that. Just grab all those edges until we get a nice, smooth, round piece of dough. Smooth it out. And this is all I'm going to do now. Place them one on one end of the mold. Let's go with the second. Smooth it out again. Not only delicious, but pretty as well. And stick it right to the side. So we end up with two round pieces of dough in each mold. This is sort of like a mushroom shaped loaf. Press it out and shape. Nice and smooth. It's looking pretty. I like it. Can't wait for this. Close it up. Each of the edges converges in the middle. There you go. And we smooth it out with the palm of our hands. And into the mold. Now, it was that easy. Now we're ready to let these guys proof for about an hour and a half. Okay, this is 1 hour and a half after kneading, and look at them. So puffy, nice and big, super filled with air and fermentation gases. This is what we're looking for, you know? Beautiful, smooth texture, trapping all those gases that's going to give us the texture that we're looking for. Spongy, big, soft. What am I going to do now? I'm going to brush them with a little bit of extra olive oil, you know, the olive oil that I use to grease the molds. Well, we're going to give it a nice little coating for aroma and color. I mean, we can also egg wash this by mixing 1 or 2 eggs with 2 tablespoons of milk or water and a pinch of salt for an egg wash. If you want a darker, more open color, For this, given that it's a sandwich loaf and I want to keep it on the soft edge, I don't want a crusty, robust loaf. I'm going to brush it just a bit with oil for a bit of color and also extra aroma. Just like that. These can grow unlimitedly, you know, at some point they're gonna overproof and they're gonna collapse at the lightest touch. So we need to control that and follow them closely. And we're ready to bake. We're gonna send them to the oven now. You're gonna preheat it for about 30 minutes before you start baking at 425 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees Celsius. We're ready to go. I got room for the two of them together. So here we go. In my case, I'm preheating the oven 45 minutes before I'm ready to cook. Good luck, and I'll show you how they turn out. Okay, so we're halfway there, and I'm gonna make sure that they're browning evenly. Let's see how these beauties are doing. Beautiful, look at those. And I'm gonna turn them around because we're browning more on one side than the other. Something that you have to check depending on your oven. Turn them around. One thing to have in mind here, don't be scared. These are not gonna deflate like a cake if you open the door, okay? So keep going. Okay, we're ready to unveil our loaves from the oven. These have been baking for approximately 30 minutes. So keep that in mind. About half an hour for this 500 or 550 gram loaf. Let's check them out. Have gloves on. And voila! Beautiful, nice and plump. These are great. Let's check out the browning in the bottom. Oh, it's nice and even. In case in your oven the bottom is still less golden brown than the top, you can remove them all and continue baking for another 5 minutes. But these are great. The browning in color is very even on the top and bottom of the loaf. Let's check the sound. These have to sound dry and hollow. Just as if you were knocking on somebody's door. These are not too hot already. Cooled a bit. What do you think if we crack it open? Boom, check that out. Beautiful crumb, super spongy, steamy. We're not gonna slice this until they cool down completely, okay? You don't wanna break the crumb, you don't wanna squeeze it by running the knife while these are still hot. So let them cool and ready to enjoy. Hope you have enjoyed this video. Hope it's useful for you. Get there, practicing, work on that slop and fold, and enjoy baking.